Now that we have all the toilet stalls configured, we can start looking at tagging and scheduling the restroom accessories. To get started, I'm going to make an enlarged room plan of the 2 bathrooms. Going into that view, you'll see the clearances are back on, as we may want to tag those as well. To get started with tagging your restroom accessories, you'll need to keep in mind that they are shared nested components, which means the first time you select, it is the toilet stall. The second time you select, tabbing down, it is the accessory itself. With the grab bars, you need to go 1 extra level down, so the first time you select is the stall, the second time is the parent grab bar family, and the third time is the individual grab bar itself. You'll get some tips about this when you start to use the Annotate Tag by Category button. A personal preference and tip is that when I start tagging restroom accessories, I tend to use Tag by Category, and I like to keep the leader on with the free end. The reason I like this is with restroom accessory tags, you're going to need to put a lot of tags in close proximity, and using the free end option allows me to tab down to the accessory, tab down until I've hit the accessory, and then I can go click, click, click to place the seat cover dispenser tag. Then I can tab down to the toilet paper dispenser and go click, 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 and tab, tab, click, click, click. Obviously, then you can arrange your tags to your liking, and you can move on to the next stall. If we go down to where the grab bars are, we're similarly going to use Annotate Tag by Category, and in this stall we'll do the same thing. Tab, click, click, click. And now here, when I get down to my individual grab bars, you'll see that what you want to be tagging is the grab bar itself. However, in this particular template, the default tag that's being used is for parking spaces, which is different. The tag that you'll want to use is called the generic model item type tag, and you'll see that it will read as grab bar 3. One thing to note is if we go to place one of those tags again, you'll see that when you tab the first time and you're touching the multiple grab bars, it will tell you to tab to tag the individual bars. So it will give you a little bit of a warning that what you're touching is the incorrect object for tagging the grab bar. You'll also notice that both of those grab bars came in as grab bar 3, whereas if we go and tag the vertical grab bar, it will come in as grab bar 5. That's because nested deep in the grab bars, the individual bar knows that this is a 42-inch horizontal bar. As we work our way across the bathroom, you'll notice that there is a grab bar 2, and there is another grab bar 3, and there is another grab bar 5. The way we're achieving the automatic tagging nature of these devices is we're using a parameter that is not type mark. That allows us to preset the tag value inside the family editor. For this purpose, the tag that we use is called item type tag. Your firm standards may dictate changing this slightly, but this setup is used so that you can go through the library and give everything the tag value that you would like to read so that you can standardize in your projects. Hopefully, you are able to arrange your tags a little more sensibly than I am while I'm talking as I do it. So here you see the restroom accessories are all tagged. You'll also notice that even though the coat hook, as we discussed, is modeled on the closed door, you can still tag the coat hook. We've built in some visibility options on the coat hook so that in plan it can look opened, while in 3D and elevation it can be closed. Firm standards vary on whether or not the toilet stalls themselves get tagged, so there is an option to also have a tag for each type of toilet stall. They're using the same item type tag value, so you can tag them if you want by type. One thing to keep in mind is that all of these items are also automatically filling themselves out in the restroom accessory schedule. You'll notice that they're automatically coming in as coat hook and grab bar 2 and grab bar 3 and so on and so forth. The way this is working is pretty straightforward. This is a multi-category schedule, and that's because you may remember the grab bars are all generic models, some of these items are specialty equipment, and the toilet stalls and urinal screens are also generic models. This schedule is simply looking for a parameter called include in restroom accessories to have the value of yes. That's already taken care of in the content library itself. You'll notice that if you were to grab the toilet paper dispenser and go into its type properties, the include in restroom accessories box is automatically checked. I recommend adding the includes parameters to your project template as a project parameter. That will allow content that's not from Parallax to use the same parameters to put content in those schedules without having to actually open the family and load in the shared parameter and then save the family somewhere and reload it into your projects. Adding these parameters in as project parameters will allow them to work with any content that you happen to load into your project. We've loaded those parameters into the content itself so that we can pre-fill them in the content library. This means that if you're one of the firms that does not want the actual toilet stalls listed in the restroom accessory schedules, it's very easy to change that. You simply go into any of the toilet stall components and say, we no longer want to include you in restroom accessories. That particular toilet stall, TS3W, is now gone from that schedule. You'll see that it's missing right here. So it's a firm choice on if you want to show those. If you are also one of the firms that wants to tag the clear space of any of these items, what we've included is a multi-category tag for clearance size. The reason for this is there are a number of different clearances that we have that will belong to different categories, since we want those clearances to interact with the category of the object they're hosted in, like the doors or the plumbing fixtures. If we tab select down to the clearances, you'll see that both the clearances on the doors and the clearances on the plumbing fixtures are all now getting a size, and you can then move those tags to the correct location based on your firm standards. We like to show them in the corner of the clearance itself. That's basically everything that there is to go over on tagging and scheduling the restroom accessories. One other thing I will point out very quickly is that at least in the Parallax template, there is also a secondary schedule. We have one schedule that is restroom accessories only. We have a different schedule that is items that are mounted on walls. Some firms like to use this schedule to keep track of what type of wall blocking is required and how many of these things are in the project. This schedule works in exactly the same way. There is an include parameter called include in wall mounted accessories. So again, that's up to the particular firm leveraging the content, whether or not they want those items to be scheduled that way or not. Hopefully this explains how the tagging and scheduling works for the restroom accessories in the Parallax toilet stall library.